Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Way, the Truth, the Life. I want to thank you guys again for joining me, and I hope you guys like, share, and subscribe to my channel. There's just so much going on. I don't even know where to start. But I've noticed one thing. There's not a lot of I'm not getting a lot of views on my videos, which is perfectly fine. I know this is a process. It takes time. And I know in time that God is gonna bless this channel, and He's gonna use it to get His message out. And I just pray that that happens, and you guys will be a big part of that in making that happen. So I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm just gonna get right into it. What I wanted to say today, and I had been thinking about this the last last couple of hours actually. Just noticed how many Christians are just running out and complying with anything that the powers to be are telling them. What I mean by that is okay, so let's talk about vaccination. That specifically, because this is something that's entering your body, right? It's not social distancing or masking or anything like that. It's something that's entering your body, so it is a lot more serious than the other mandates that they've put out there. So, if you're a Christian and you've read the Bible even a little bit, especially the Book of Revelation, you know that there's a man by the man called the Antichrist that comes in in the end times, and he requires everyone get a mark in their right hand or their forehead, and if you don't get that mark, you can't buy or sell. So I don't know about you, but for me, this whole get the vaccine, or you can't have a normal life, sure sounds a whole lot like the mark of the beast. Okay, before you guys get all crazy, I'm not saying that this is the mark of the beast. What I am saying is that this certainly sounds like it. This has that same feel. You know what I mean? If you don't get vaccinated, you can't get a job in many places. You can't. You can get fired. You can't go on airplanes, restaurants, blah blah blah. There's just more and more mandates coming out. So it's very, very similar to what the Bible talks about with the coming of the Antichrist. And the issue I have is that the amount of Christians that are just at the first sign of distress, they're just ready to roll up the sleeve for something, whatever it is. Let's get it in our body so we can go on with our lives and enjoy the leisurely life that we have. That's a problem. That's a problem because let's just look at it hypothetically. What if this is what the Bible talks about? What if it is? What then? All the Christians just ran out. Not everybody did, but lots did. Just so they're not out of their comfort zone. And I put this out on my Facebook too. If you're doing the will of the world, you're not doing the will of God. Because, if you haven't noticed, if you look in the Bible and read all the stories, pretty much all of them, about the prophets and the apostles, the world hated them. They never took part of anything that the world was doing. They were strictly opposed to it. And they suffered. They suffered tremendously. They weren't like us, all of a sudden we just, hey, let's get this done. Let's roll up the sleeve. Hey, what else do you guys want us to do? It wasn't like that. There's an issue between you and God when the world loves you, because the world hates God, and if they hate God, they'll hate you as a Christian. hey, that's just the way it is. I mean, yeah, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but that's just the way it is. This is a fallen world. This isn't nowhere. This isn't the, like, the Garden of Eden prior to the fall of man. This is a fallen world. This is the devil's territory. The devil controls this. And how do I know this? Because when the devil tempted Jesus out in the desert, he said, "Bow down and worship me, and I'll give you everything." Now, if the devil didn't own any of this in the world, how could he give Jesus something that didn't even own? Jesus could have easily said to him, "You don't own any of this," but he didn't. So that in itself right there, it tells you that the owner here of this world is the devil. And yeah, Jesus even called people the children of the devil. "You brood of vipers," he said that to the Pharisees. So this is not from, the world doesn't do the will of God. So if the world loves you and you're just like having a grand old time going through the world, like, living your life, and just then, and you call yourself a Christian, then you need to reevaluate, like, where you are in your spiritual walk. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm far from it, but I know the difference between being, difference between right and wrong, and being able to walk in God without, with facing challenges, is what I'm trying to say. Because there's going to be challenges if you're a Christian. And so that's the issue that I had with, with everybody rolling up the sleeve. A lot of Christians. Now there's Christians that, or just anybody, are getting vaccinated because one, it might be out of fear of dying from COVID, or it does have a 98% survival rate, but I digress. Or they might, they don't want to give up their leisurely life, or they might have a combination of both. But, if you're a Christian, you should understand that these times are going to come, and it's going to get much worse. So what's going to happen when the Antichrist eventually comes and he says, "You have to do this, otherwise, or you have to worship me"? Because the Bible says if they didn't worship the beast, the Antichrist, that he had them killed. Okay? So what then? It's difficult, I know. Giving up your life is not easy. It's not easy. But these things are to be expected. It's going to become much harder. So I just urge you guys to think about what's happening in terms of biblical prophecy. Okay? And if you're doing it out of fear, just don't, God said put your trust in him. God hasn't given us the spirit of fear. So I'm just talking to the Christians out there. Just, if you're kind of on the fence about what you should be doing, the Bible says times are going to get tough. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys like, share, and subscribe. Help me out, and let's get the word out. Okay, guys, see you guys on my next video. God bless.